Things that you should never, ever do around a girl that you like. The first thing you should never do is talk poorly about yourself. Negative self-talk and talking poorly about yourself can be such a turnoff to women because it signals a complete lack of confidence and self-esteem. The second thing you should not do around a girl that you like is stare at her or make no eye contact. If you are staring at her like a deer in headlights without saying anything, it's going to come across a bit odd, right? So don't do that. On the opposite side of the spectrum here is not making eye contact at all. Maybe you're looking at the ground and acting very nervous or looking somewhere else when you're talking to her. Keep it up here, buddy. The next thing that you should never do is be pushy. You can absolutely show and express interest, but if she's not reciprocating, do not be pushy. Next thing you shouldn't do is put her on a pedestal. When a guy puts a girl on a pedestal, it means that he overly idealizes and idolizes her.
Man, when I listen to shit like this is literally stuff that I say every single day. But let me summarize this, okay? Let me summarize this. All she's really talking about in general is the difference between passive, aggressive, and assertive. And let me break that down. So passive means you allow things to happen, right? You're not active. You just let things happen to you, right? You don't make a choice. You don't decide on anything. You just allow life to happen to you. So you just go with the flow. You get what I'm saying? That's passive. Okay. And then there's aggressive. Aggressive is when you're demanding, when you're like adamant about something and you are forceful. You get what I mean? And you're exaggerated in your desires, right? So you want something, but you're super exaggerated and you're almost throwing a fit, or you're almost threatening, or you're in a position where you're ready to fight or throw down, or you understand what I'm saying? Like you could probably come to blows when you're aggressive. Okay. And then there's assertive. Assertive is right in the middle. Assertive is a calm balance that is respectful and firm, okay? Respectful and firm. As a matter of fact, being assertive is the closest thing to representing your masculine identity. All right. And for those of you that probably just started following me, or if you're new to these videos, let me explain what a masculine identity is. Masculine identity is exactly who you are. Every choice you make about your lifestyle, every choice you make about how you represent yourself, your personality, how you see yourself as a man, you're totally accepting of who you are, right? It's like the information on your ID card, your literal ID card. It's information that pretty much stays the same, meaning that you have a certain level of consistency about your character. All right. So that's basically what a masculine identity is. And the reason why being assertive is closest to your masculine identity as opposed to being aggressive or passive is that assertion is the direct representation of what something is, meaning you are asserting, you are targeting a specific outcome or a specific desire or a specific request or a specific goal that you're looking to achieve. Okay. So when you're passive, you're not actually being yourself, right? You're letting things happen to you. You're being a pushover. You're being a doormat, so to speak. You're allowing people to say, do, and behave however they want around you. And you never speak up for what it is you truly want. You just let things happen. So, for example, being passive would be constantly texting a woman and just asking her how her day is and waiting for her to set up the date. That's being passive. Or even if you ask her, hey, would you like to go out for drinks? Instead of saying, I would like to go out for drinks. When are you available? Right? Being passive means you're putting everything in the hands of someone else and you're actually being a follower. You understand? And that's not who you really are as a man. Who you really are as a man is assertive. Who you really are as a man, you have a clear idea of what you really want to do. So if you know you want to take a woman out for drinks so you guys can have a chat and see if you guys are compatible, then that's exactly what you say to that woman. You say, hey, how you doing? My name is Miles Cunningham, and I wanted to see if you wanted to go out for drinks so we can have a chat, sip something delicious, and figure out if we're compatible. You understand? If she's down with that, cool. If she's not, cool. Because you're going to be the same person regardless. Now, when you're being aggressive, Being aggressive is doing too much. As the young kids say, you're doing too much, right? Being aggressive means that you are being forceful, right? So just like how she says in the video about don't be pushy. And this is something that I tell you guys all the time. When you assert yourself, you have to gauge the woman's response to you. You have to gauge her response to your presence, gauge her response to the sound of your voice, gauge her response to your articulation, to the way that you show up in a situation. You have to gauge her response. Here's the thing with being aggressive. Being aggressive doesn't gauge the response. Being aggressive is overly forceful, being overly pushy, meaning that you don't care about how someone is responding to you. You are forcefully trying to get what you want. And here's the thing. The reason why being aggressive is not productive is because what you truly want is for the person that you're trying to relate to want what you want so you can meet in the middle where compatibility is. But when you're being aggressive, it means that you're forcing someone to want what you want. So in actuality, there's a lack of compatibility because being aggressive, you don't care if they want what you want. You're just trying to force them to want what you want. And then that leads to ideologies of fear and abuse and certain other situations that you don't want to put yourself in. So the key and the basic idea of this video is to be assertive, meaning you know who you are, you know what you want, and you know how to articulate it. You meet the person for the first time or whatever it is, you articulate your desire, you gauge their response to the articulation of your desire. If it's positive, then you move forward. If it's negative, then you leave that person alone. That's really all that's happening in this video. So basically, when she's talking about negative self-talk and speaking poorly about yourself, that is being passive, right? That is a passive attitude because that is saying that who you are doesn't matter. Everything else matters. That's what being passive means. And that's why you would speak negatively or speak down on yourself. And women don't like that. Because remember, deep down, a woman is looking for a leader. How could she follow you if you don't believe in yourself? So that's why being passive and having negative self-talk about yourself and putting yourself down is so very unattractive. Because even if she looked at you, like if she saw you from across the room and said to herself, wow, physically, he seems like the type of guy that I could follow, right? Subconsciously, she might be saying that, right? Maybe you're tall, you got a nice physique, and you dress well, right? But then you walk over to her and then you start talking about, well, I'm just kind of stupid and I don't know how to talk to women and I'm nervous and I don't usually go out to places like this and I have no experience and you probably think I'm an idiot and you probably don't like the sound of my voice and you probably think I'm awkward and I feel awkward right now and blah, blah, blah. And you just keep saying things like that. You're going to turn every woman that you meet off. You understand? Matter of fact, the only type of woman that might feign attraction to that is a woman who's trying to take advantage of you because she sees that you have no self-assurity. She sees that you don't believe in yourself. So she will use that to her advantage and take advantage of you because she realizes that you don't believe in yourself. So be very careful. A passive attitude and negative self-talk is very, very dangerous. And there are levels to the danger. So you have to be very, very careful with your level of negative self-talk and all that other crap. So when she talks about staring at her or making no eye contact at all, what she's talking about is basically a body language representation of being passive, assertive, or aggressive. Okay, so staring at a woman, that's being aggressive because you're staring at her, you're not saying anything, and you're just gawking at her, and you're forcing your eye contact, and you're forcing, you're probably looking at her body, looking at her tits, looking at her ass, or something like that, and you have no concern over whether or not it might be making her uncomfortable or this, that, and the third. That's aggressive. You get what I'm saying? Now, constantly looking away when she looks at you and looking at the ground and acting like this, like you're afraid, that's passive. Because now you're allowing her presence to overshadow yours, right? You're pedestaling this woman, meaning that your body language is diminishing your own presence in her presence. So that's being passive, right? But sensible and healthy eye contact when you are meeting someone or conversing with someone, that is assertive, right? That means there is a balance. That means you're not being negative about your own presence, but you're not being overly pushy about your own presence. You're dealing with her on a cordial and mutual social level. You understand? This is why, again, social intelligence, social and situational awareness is so important when you're out meeting women. Okay. Again, you want to be assertive, not aggressive and not passive. You want to be right there in the middle where you believe in yourself and you're confident and you're not in your own mind, but you're present in the moment where you can gauge her response to your presence. If her response to your presence is positive, then you continue. If her response to your presence is negative, then you leave her alone, tell her to have a good night, and that's the end of it. All right. So again, just to summarize, guys, she's letting you know, do not pedestal a woman, meaning don't be passive, right? Don't put the woman above yourself, right? And she's also saying, don't be too pushy or aggressive, meaning that you are behaving overly forceful in the social interaction. Okay. So that means you're right there in the middle. You're being assertive. You're being assertive. You're letting her know what you would like to happen. And that is it. From that point on, you don't have anything to worry about. Just focus on articulation and gauging her response to your articulation. All right. Don't ever pedestal a woman. And don't ever be too pushy. You don't ever want to be too pushy because, again, what you truly want is to find the women that is actually attracted to you, just as you are attracted to them. And you want her attraction to be organic. You want her attraction to be real. You want her attraction to be something that she's excited about, just like how you're excited about being attracted to her, right? So you don't want to force her to be attracted to you by being aggressive. And you also don't want to pity her into being attracted to you because you're trying to be passive or make her feel sorry for you. You get what I'm saying? But being assertive is the closest thing to your masculine identity. Being assertive is the closest thing to you being actually you, because there's a nice balance in there. There's a nice balance of confidence, which allows her to get to know the real you. So then she can make a conscious decision if she's actually attracted to you. All right, guys. So it's your boy, Miles Cunningham. Hope you got something from this video. Hope you're having a great day. Be good to yourself. And remember, the truth is inside you. Peace.